for checking out the lesson here for Shenandoah Valley Breakdown. We're in the key of A, of course, as this is a banjo instrumental tune, but we are in G, working out of G position. And I've created essentially two variations for each the A and the B parts here. And they're rather straight ahead. They just varying a little bit how we can move to and from the melody notes. But we will move up the fretboard a little bit on the B part, kind of do our C7 stuff up here, give it a little texture. But we're going to play the melody for the most part right on the head here. And I'm going to break down everything note for note so you can see what's going on. As always, if you want to access the full-length lesson and download all the tablature and the multi-speed backing tracks, click the link in the description below. Let's dive in. All right, let's put those first few measures up on the screen and yeah, have a look at what's going on here. I'll play the first, I guess it's 5 measures, but I'll play those first few and then we'll break them down. So, pick up on beat 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So the melody is actually rather simple for this tune, and we just kind of have to fill in the space, so to speak, you know, because this is a banjo tune, and banjo instrumental tune, and you know, we don't have, we can't do all the rolling, so to speak, like the banjo does. So the melody is rather simple. You know, and so we're gonna fill it up with, you know, consecutive eighth notes, of course. In here, I'm going to do a lot of it on the same string, but it starts out with that kind of that banjo pickup essentially. So B string open and the 3rd fret of the high E. So then I'm going to double stop, and then 1 and 3, and then 2 and 3. Okay, classic banjo pickup. And then the next measure, I'm going to hammer 2 to 3 on that B string, and then I'm going to stick to the B string. B, and then 1, then open, back to 3. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and going on, go to the C chord, go to the C note here, 1st fret of the B, and it's a quarter note stuck in there. And then we do some more eighth notes. So 1, 2, and 3, and then open, back to 1, then 2. Next measure, 2, 3 hammer on the B string, 1, and then stay there on the 3rd fret. 2 more times, and then 3 slide to 5. Use your 3rd finger here. So then 3 on the B, 4 on the G with the 2nd finger. Okay, so that measure exactly. Next measure, go to the D chord, but the melody is on the A note. And again, I have a quarter note there for the first beat, and then some eighth notes after. So 1, 2, and 3. And then open B, then 1st fret, 2nd fret. So again, we're kind of hanging on a single string, repeating notes just kind of over and over again. It's usually played pretty fast. And so, but I wanted to make the arrangement playable, you know what I mean, obtainable, and play the melody. And so I've kind of had that mind frame when creating this arrangement. Yeah, let me play those 5 a couple times. So 1, 2, 3. And as I've mentioned several, maybe 100 times in my other videos, if you don't have your pick directions correct, essentially perfect in my opinion, it will be hard to build speed, and it will be hard to play it where it feels good and is clean. You get away with some things for sure, but again, getting them perfect. And this hopefully arrangement makes it a little bit easier to do that, since a lot of the stuff is on the same string and kind of repeating notes, and hopefully you can get that flow of the consecutive eighth notes going. But you know, yes, I've mentioned that several times. Here's I'll play it one more time and then move on. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay, next 4. And then essentially on measure 10, what's happening is we're repeating the A part, and that's the variation. So, you know, it's a banjo, it's not a fiddle tune necessarily, it's a banjo instrumental, but it goes A, A, B, B, like most do. And we can repeat those 8 bars. Essentially, you can do the first 8 bars and just repeat that exact same thing as repeating the A part. Or I have an A part variation that I'll walk through here in a minute. That's just kind of slightly different, right? We're going to do some different moves. But that's what's going on. I'm going to do the same thing with the B part as well. So you don't have to just play the exact same thing for 8 bars twice, although you certainly could. You certainly could. But it just gives you some other options. Perhaps you could cut and paste measures as well. It's something I like to do with my arrangements. But yeah. So measure 6, land on the 3rd fret of the B. It's a quarter note there. And then we're going to stay there. 2 and 3, and then 1, open B, back to 3. Then next measure, 1st fret on the B. It's a quarter note. Oftentimes I do a quarter note to start the measure, and then it's consecutive 8th notes. Not always, but certainly sometimes. So 1, 2, and 3, and then open. Then 1, 2, and then measure 8. We just essentially, I've thrown in kind of a classic ending lick. So 3, 1 on the B, open, 3, 1, open, 2 on the G, 4 on the D, then the next measure, open G. And see how I'm getting there with my fingering? I'm using 1 and 3 here, and then 2. I'm sorry, I'm using the 1st finger there, 3rd finger there. And open G on the measure 9. And then here's the banjo pickup to get us going again. So we've covered that already. Same thing as measure 1. Then measure 10 essentially starts the repeat. Again, we're going to do a variation. So 2, 3 hammer on the B. And then 3. 3 again. Now slide to 5. 3 on the E. 5 on the B. And then back to 3. I'm going to slide that, sorry. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... So I'm shifting up and shifting down with the 3rd finger. Okay. So those 5 measures, I guess, in context. 2, ready, go. Okay, next 5 measures. Then we'll finish out that variation there in the next couple measures. But so yeah, just some slight differences, right? Just different ways to move around, but essentially still getting to that melody note, the target melody note that we're after. So measure 11, we land on the 1st fret of the B, quarter note there, and then 1, and then open, 1, 2, 3, 5, slide on the B. Use your 3rd finger. Next measure, 3 on the E, back to 5 on the B. Right here, 5 on the E. Got to roll with the third finger. Common technique. 1 and 2. Back to 3. 5 on the B. 3 on the B. Quarter note here on the G string 4th fret. So next measure, 2 on the G. And it's a quarter note too. So 2 quarter notes back to back there. Might throw some people off a little bit, but measure 13. 1, 2, and 3, and then open B. 1, 2. So far we have ready, go. Next measure, 2-3 hammer on the B string. We're gonna do it twice. Kind of the Foggy Mountain breakdown lick in its smallest form, perhaps. And then 1 on the E, 3 on the B, open E, back to 3. Next measure, 1st fret on the B string, quarter note, and then 1. Open, 1, 2, 3, and then 1 on the E. Again, kind of walking up a little bit chromatically, in some spots. All 5 of those measures. Ready, go. Okay, then the last couple measures for the A part. Okay, that'll take us to the B section, right? But here, just kind of a classic little bluegrass lick. I came from 1 on the E, and now measure 16. I'm gonna go 3, 1, 3, 1 on the B, 3, 4 slide on the G, open G, 3 on the D. Okay. Then open G, strum, and then a little pickup into the B part, 0, 1 on the D. And it'll land. We're gonna get to the C7 chord for the B section. Okay. So there is both variations for the A part. I'm gonna play it all through, and you can see it all go by, and play along with me. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. There's the A part, and if you want to download the full-length tab, access the full-length lesson, and all the practice tracks and sound slice, click the link in the description below. We'll move on when you're ready.